Hey everyone, this is Teja. Let me introduce myself first. For the past 12 years, I have been working as Oracle Apex application developer and also as Oracle PLSQL and database developer. I build things with Oracle every day, like I build stored procedures, functions, packages, Oracle Apex applications, and also I worked on data warehouse projects, data lake projects, ETLs, REST APIs, and a lot of database objects, etc., etc. That was my world. But now, today I'm going to step into something new. Like, I'm going to show you something really exciting. Like, today I'm going to show you how to create a custom MCP server and how to create an AI agent. Now, before you think this is something, a data science project or like Python heavy thing, it's not. This is something as Oracle developers can build ourselves using the skills we already have. In this video, I'm going to show you how I build my custom MCP server that exposes my personal health data. For example, like my weight, lipid panels, vitamin levels, etc., etc. And I'm going to show you how I connect it to Claude AI. So I can ask a question to the Claude AI about my health trends in just plain English, and I get all the answers like plots, graphs plotted, etc. So let's dive into the demo now. So here is the first question. What is an AI agent? I'm going to give you the simpler definition for AI agent. When a large language model, when a LLM is combined with a tool, then it is called AI agent. As simple as that. Now, let me show you some example here. This is my Codex app. I was asking a question, what was my weight last month? It says, okay, I don't have access to your personal data or like your health records because this particular LLM, it has no access to my health records. But if I ask a question, something like convert kgs to pounds, it can easily do that because it was already trained for that. But in order to provide access to this, my health records to this LLM, I need some interface there, right? I need some tool. So basically, when I combine this LLM with that tool, like in my case, the tool is nothing but giving access to my database. That is a simple agent, simple AI agent, as simple as that. You might ask me, okay, now here, like just provide your database details like host, port name, port number, and user ID and password, and just ask it to check your database or access your database. No, it's not that simple. So in order to provide access to the database, I might need some interface in the like a middleman in between this AI agent and the database. So that is where the MCP server comes into picture. So now the next question. So you might ask me a question, what is MCP server now? So MCP server is basically a middleman between the AI model and your data. So in my case, for example, my data is sitting in the database in a table, and I'm serving the data in the form of some REST API. So now this MCP server acts as a middleman between my REST APIs and the AI LLM. So that's the simple example I can give you for the question like what is an MCP server? What is an MCP server? So yeah, that is all about the AI agent and custom MCP server. I hope you got some idea on that. But let's go into the demo now. For example, like in order to uh, prepare some demo here, I just created two tables, just very simple two tables. One is health results and the other one is health person, right? So health results table contains all my health data on recorded on a particular date. And you see the person ID here, a column called person ID, and that it's again points to another table, child table called person health person, like where we can see the person details for whom the data was actually recorded, right? So let me show you how I'm exposing this data. For example, I have created a small Apex application here. If I change this select list here, you can see the graph, the trends graph is changing here. For example, if I click on weight, it shows my weight graph, like it started from 82 and it ended up with 979 with all the date range here, right? So this is how my data looks like in the table, and this is for the person. So now, in order to expose this data, I have created a bunch of APIs, just simple APIs like get APIs, get endpoints, and post endpoints here, right? So I have created one endpoint here, which is called a get endpoint, just to show you. This is simple select query here, which is this is the data which I'm exposing as part of this endpoint. And also I have created a couple of other endpoints like uh, this is for getting the data, and I have created another endpoint which is for posting the data. Like it's like an insert of the data. For example, if I would like to add a new record in this table, I have created a post endpoint. So for all these endpoints which I have created here, I have created a Swagger document here, right? So Swagger document is basically it gives all the details of uh, each endpoints. Like I think everyone knows about it, right? So this Swagger document, it's going to act as a key thing in the next part of our demo, right? This is how I'm going to expose my data. Instead of giving the access directly to my database, I'm just trying to expose the data in the form of APIs. So I uh, I have this API document, like Swagger document ready. It can be saved in the form of a .json or .yaml file. You know that, right? So moving on. So I have created a simple MCP server here, like which this is the simple MCP server here. If you ask me how did you get all this Node.js code, if you just give a prompt, mm, any AI, any LLM can help you with this code. It's just a prompt which generates all these things. So I got my MCP server code here, which actually reads that uh, Swagger document and provides my information to passes on my information to the AI LLM. And here, like if you see, this was my this is my um, Swagger document. So these are the main two things here. Um, I gave them my Swagger document and I have created a custom MCP server .js here. So now I have to start this MCP server, like make these tools available, right? So in the terminal, if I run this, it it reads the Swagger document, that particular MCP server code which I have here, that reads the Swagger document and it creates all the endpoints, like which it creates all the endpoints as tools. Like now all these five endpoints which I have created in the REST endpoints, they are ready to be served as tools, right? So now we have the MCP server ready. So now let's go to the demo part. Then later I will talk about like what's the security thing, security, data security thing, which we need to consider here. So, for example, now if I go to this Claude, I have already plugged in this MCP server, which I just created to this Claude desktop. If you go to the connectors connections here, you already see this ORDS MCP server here. So which I just created. It already got that access, right? So now if you open this connectors here and go to this um, ORDS MCP server, you can turn it on and turn it off anytime. But if I click on this manage MCP or like manage connectors, you can see um, if we click on this ORDS, the custom MCP server, these are all the tools available here, right? I can manage the access here, like needs approval or like just always allow or something here, and never. I can also block the access to the particular tool, right? Now I have the MCP server ready. I have configured that in the Claude desktop. So now everything is ready to communicate, right? Now my AI LLM can start communicating to my REST APIs. So basically now if I start with this, if I start asking this question, for example, I have a prompt here. Um, let's copy this prompt here. And if I paste it here, you are my personal trainer. What was my weight last month? I'm telling it like use the custom odds MCP server, plot a graph, and suggest me some tips. So now the moment I hit the enter button here, so you see that it's going to the connecting to the MCP server and getting my data, and it is trying to get my weight values, and it is comparing my weight like when I started and what was my weight last month and what was the difference, and it also plotted a graph for me. And at the same time, as I asked in my prompt here, it is already I mean it already started suggesting me what are the tips I can follow in order to um, keep my weight down. So that is one of the way you can interact with your weight trends, right? So now I have another example here. If I ask another question, something like my personal trainer, how is my lipid panel looking? Am I at risk? And again, the same thing here. I'm asking to plot a graph and use the custom MCP server here. Now, if I hit the button again, and now it is talking to the REST API again, and it got all my data. It knows what are lipid panels like LDL, HDL, and all, and it is getting all the data here. And maybe it will try to plot a graph again here, right? So if you see, it's trying to plot a graph here, and also it's showing me all the LDL and HDL recordings and triglyceride recordings here, and it will show you, it will show me all the suggestions. And I also asked a question like, am I at risk? It says moderate risk, right? So this is how we can create a custom MCP server and use the AI LLM to interact with our personal data. But here comes the security part, right? So never, never expose your entire database to an AI agent. That's the thumb rule, which we need to follow, right? So here, I'm not directly giving the entire database access to the AI agent. I'm serving the data in the form of REST APIs, where I have the control, complete control of what data I can expose. So there are other ways of exposing your data, like you can use SQL CL, MCP servers, and there are some other tools as well. So But the main thing is never ever create, never expose your entire database to the AI agent. So in this case, if you see, uh, I have this REST API created. If you see this code here, I'm just giving the data here, but I'm never telling this who is the person behind this uh, record for, right? It never knows like who the person behind these results, who is the patient. So that's the kind of security layer we need to follow. We should never expose the personal information to the AI agent. Um, so when we are talking about the security part of it, the other thing which I would like to highlight is never, we already discussed that never expose the data directly to the AI agent, like data in the sense any personal information like the patient details and like when you're working in a healthcare domain, you know how the HIPAA works and all, right? So, and also if you're working in a financial domain, you're not supposed to expose any social security numbers or like personal information of the customer. So these are all the things which we need to keep in mind, and we should be very careful like what kind of data we are exposing to the AI. If we are if we are allowing the AI agent to directly connect to a database using some kind of tool, I believe that like at least we have to make sure that we are giving the access to a completely different and restricted schema at least, not to the actual source schema. At least we should have or we should maintain a schema exclusively designed for this AI activities or AI interactions. So yeah, that's a kind of security layer or like security practices like which we need to. You might ask me a question why it matters to the Oracle developers, like why Oracle developers should care, right? So we have spent years building REST APIs, writing PLSQL, designing data models, right? That work is not obsolete. It actually the foundation for AI agents done right. The developers who underestimate data modeling, API designs, and security boundaries are exactly who should be building these AI agents. Not because AI is hard, but because the data layer is hard. And that's our territory, right? So in my next video, maybe I'll be covering this um, exact the same flow, but for a different use. How you can automate an ETL process, like ETL flow, using the same concept. So that will be my next video. I hope you like this video. Thanks, everyone.